Tom Ford's Beau de Jour, Ralph Lauren's Polo Green, Aramis by Aramis, Guy Laroche's Dracar Noir, Christian Dior's Eau Sauvage, and Chanel's Pour Monsieur. Now gents, let me be clear. These are not the first fragrances that should be in your collection. Nothing against these fragrances, but here's the deal. These classic fragrances can be a little bit harder to pull off. These fragrances fall into two classic families. These fragrances are chypres. These fragrances are fougères. So the word chypre comes from the French word for cypress. Chypres can be described as sophisticated, a balance of freshness, depth, but still unisex. Fougères, on the other hand, come from the French word for fern. Fougères are considered to be a bit more uplifting, elegant, and masculine. I share all this with you because it's cool, it's interesting, but the practical reason is for you to understand why classic fragrances are so different from most of the modern fragrances we're seeing out there. Because the 5 fragrance types I do recommend for you in this video are going to be more in line with what's popular today. So the first type of fragrance I think every man should own is a timeless citrus. Great examples of this are going to be John Varvatos' Artisan Pure, Issey Miyake's L'Odyssée pour Homme, Elysium by Raja Dove, Creed's Aventus Cologne. Don't mistake it for Aventus. The cologne is much lighter, has a much stronger citrus top. Now, a couple standouts here that I highly recommend. Look to Dior Homme's Cologne. Simple, clean, beautiful. It's got that really strong citrus top with a bit of musk and just a touch of white floral. Another great pick here is going to be Chanel's Allure Homme Sport. Now don't confuse this with the Eau Extreme. This is going to be the older one. This has more of a citrus orange opening. And if you can find it, check out Allure's Homme Sport Cologne. Now the issue with a lot of citrus fragrances, as many of you guys know, they don't last really long. Now there are some exceptions to this rule. Usually they're niche fragrances or they're using a yuzu note. But the reality, even if it doesn't last very long, a lot of guys are going to love citrus fragrances because they're easy to wear to the gym. And in general, when you wear them, you smell clean. You feel good. To put it simply, they're incredibly uplifting. And speaking of uplifting, this last citrus is really interesting. It's got a nice fresh lemon note, but notice what's right there in the middle, the coffee note. And that's actually what helps this fragrance last longer. And I think it's a really unique twist on a relatively popular classic DNA fragrance. So yeah, check out Valentino Green Extravaganza, a really unique fragrance. I do recommend you get your nose on it before you buy it, but yeah, I like this one. Now, at this point, you may be saying, Antonio, that sounds all nice, but I don't want to be smelling like everybody else. Well, gents, if that's you, you need to check out today's sponsor, Gisada, and their new fragrance, Titanium. So the accords here on this fragrance are going to be vanilla, aromatic, warm, spicy, powdery, woody, sweet lavender with just a bit of herbs and spice. A 4-season day-night fragrance, as you can see from the note breakout here, it is a complex and beautiful combination that has excellent longevity and sillage. You want to attract the ladies, you want to get compliments, this is going to be the fragrance. Now, if you're looking for a fragrance that's a little bit more tropical, a little bit more fruity, something that's sweeter but still has great longevity, we're talking 12 plus hours, in that case, check out Gisada's Ambassador. Sweet, peppery with a bit of wood. This one is really nicely mixed, and I feel this one's a little bit better for warmer weather. But my favorite fragrance in their collection has to be the Ambassador Intense. Warm, spicy, sweet with a bit of amber. The vanilla is pushed down on this one, but it's still there, so it's sweet. It's going to get you compliments, but it's more masculine. For me, this one's a bit more dark, mysterious. It's perfect for the fall, winter, spring. And the opening is a bit surprising with a little bit more of a strong citrus and a dose of sweet florals in the dry down. The longevity on this is solid. We're talking beast mode, a solid 10 plus hours. Gents, if any of this sounds appealing, you need to get over to Gisada's website. Use that link in the description of today's video, explore what these guys have, and grab your favorite fragrance with the best deal you're going to find anywhere. Now, classifying these fragrances, I'm going to put them in orientals, specifically spicy orientals. And this is one of the 5 types of fragrances I do recommend that every man have in his collection because with the notes of vanilla, spices, amber, this is where a lot of guys like to grab their signature scent because they usually are stronger and more easily for people to recognize. Now, other examples here in the orientals, let's go with Tom Ford's Noir Extreme and the Noir Extreme Parfum. As you can see, I own both of these fragrances. I love the vanilla. I love the mix with the spices. I didn't find much of a difference between the two, so I would just simply go with the Noir Extreme versus grabbing the Parfum. Another great house in this category is going to be Jean Paul Gaultier, their Le Male collection. Now, Le Male, I think, is a bit dated. The Parfum is excellent, but check out the Elixir. And what I really like about the Elixir is not only does it have the vanilla, but it's got that unique honey note. Now, of course, since we're talking about vanilla, we can't leave off Versace Eros. This is the vanilla bomb. You're going to smell this everywhere. One of the best-selling and most common club fragrances out there. If you want to change it up a bit, I recommend the Flame over the classic, but honestly, they're both good. That's why I'm putting them on this list. Well, what if you want something more in the spice realm? Then Victor and Rolf's Spice Bomb is where it's at. Now, the classic Spice Bomb is fine, but I know a lot of you guys want something that has more longevity and maybe more vanilla, so check out the Spice Bomb Extreme. But if you want something that's spicier with chili peppers and cinnamon, check out Spice Bomb's Infrared. And of course, with its dominant warm, spicy, and vanilla accords, Parfums de Marly Leighton is going to be in this category. Now, this next family of fragrances is one of the newest categories. It became popular in the 1990s. What am I talking about? Aquatics. And let's start this off with the house that started it all, Acqua di Gio. Now, the original Acqua di Gio, that was one of the first popular aquatic fragrances ever. And in case you're wondering what makes these fragrances unique, it's going to be the notes that can replicate the smell of the ocean. Now, the OG Acqua di Gio is still fine, but if you really want an aquatic smelling Acqua di Gio, I always recommend checking out Profondo. What I love about this category is you've actually got a lot of options as well. Creed's Mediterranean Dream, Erofa, Davidoff's Cool Water, which is a classic, and Azzaro's Chrome. Now, in the world of aquatics, you may hear the word marine. Marine are going to be aquatics that have a bit more of a salty accord. Now, for those type of fragrances, you're going to want to check out Bulgari's Aqua line. They're one of the best ones in this space. And if you got a little bit more money, check out Tom Ford's Oud Mineral. One of my favorites, you guys know. Yeah, when you wear this fragrance, you smell like a sexy pirate that's clean. Think Black Sails. Now, you may have noticed that this is an oud fragrance. A lot of people have no idea what oud is. This is a fragrant oil that comes from the Aqualaria tree. It's got a rich, woody, animalic aroma to it. And having said that, let's go to the next category of fragrances: woody fragrances, earth fragrances, green fragrances. So gents, I don't know about you, but I love walking into a wood shop, going into a lumber yard. The smell of fresh cut wood and all the different variations, that smell just takes me back. And for a lot of people, it is one of the most masculine scents that are out there. Now, understand that not all wood scents are like oud. A lot of them are going to be lighter. A lot of them are going to be really clean. In fact, that's what we're going to see with Bulgari's Wood Essence. In fact, a brand that did it really... That could have been a disaster. In fact, a brand that did this really well recently is Burberry with their Hero line. A lot of people complain that these were mass appealing fragrances. Yeah, they are. But you know what? Most men and almost all women love the smell of cedar on their man. So if you're looking for a fragrance to add to your collection, you can wear to work and is masculine, woods are where it's at. Now, green fragrances aren't just about wood though. They're also going to be about dirt, about earth, and both of these fragrances are going to be very earthy. We've got Gucci Guilty, absolute, a little bit harder to find, but you can find it out there. And we've also got Bulgari's Terra Essence. Now, straight up, gents, both these fragrances are going to be a little bit more polarizing. I do not recommend these in the same way I recommend, wood fragrances, but I personally love these. They are a little bit more challenging, but I put them in this category because I think you should check them out. Now, what about vetiver? So vetiver is going to be earthy, but in a different way. It's going to be lighter, greener. It's basically a type of grass. And in case you're wondering, these are Tom Ford's Gray Vetiver. I would just go with the classic. I didn't think the Parfum was all that much better. And if you're tight on funds, you want to try vetiver, check out the House of Guerlain. It flies under the radar. They're based out of France, so they're quality fragrances. But yeah, not too many Americans know of them. You'll probably have to look around, but you can find these. And gents, if you haven't picked up on it, a lot of these families, a lot of these different types of fragrances are combined. So some of them aren't truly, I wouldn't really call this an earthy green fragrance, but there is that vetiver. There is a bit of earth in this one. This one right here, Ralph Lauren's Ralph's Club Elixir. I think with the earthy notes, this one turned out really, really well. But again, earthy notes really depend on the person. Do you want a bit more moss? Some guys are into it. Other people into cannabis. Find the fragrance profile. Now that you know what you're looking for, it's going to be hopefully be a lot easier. But I definitely think an earthy, green, woody fragrance should be in your collection. What do you think? Agree? Disagree? Gents, let me know in the comments below. I want to hear from you. Now, this next group, despite containing some of the best-selling fragrances on the planet, the category here, blue fragrances. But most people don't even know what a blue fragrance is. Well, guess what, gents? Now you will. Simply put, a blue fragrance is when we see the juxtaposition of citrus notes mixed in with ambers. The fragrances I'm talking about are Sauvage by Dior, Chanel's Bleu de Chanel, Yves Saint Laurent's YEDP, Prada's Luna Rosa Carbon, and Versace's Dylan Blue. Now, there's a variety of different amber notes out there, and ambroxan is one of them. And the rule's not hard and fast. You're going to have some fragrances that are going to mix in mint. But in general, it's that unique combination that gives the blue fragrances their unique profile and makes them some of the most loved, best-selling, most popular fragrances you're going to see out there. And I do think every man in one of his first 5 fragrances should consider one of these blues. And what video to watch next? Guys, I got you covered right here. We're talking about sexy fragrances because, yes, I did not cover leather fragrances. I didn't cover tobaccos. There were some great fragrances out there, but these are the first 5. Guys, continue your viewing experience, especially if you like fragrances. I got you covered here at Real Men Real Style. Check it out. Boom, right here. Oh, yeah.